Okay, hello everyone, welcome back to another video. So today I want to talk about this series that I have. It's called Pathways, and this series talks on the topic of sea pollution. So this one with the white frame depicts the sea before pollution, and then the one in black frame depicts the sea after sea pollution. But because it's an abstract art, right, you can interpret it whatever way you want, and that's the thing that I love about abstract art. So personally, another way I like to interpret it is that it looks like neural pathways. I like to think of it like every time you do something new, you expand yourself, you explore new things, you discover new things, new neural pathways will form in your brain, and the more you do that new stuff, the stronger that bond will become. So that's how I like to interpret it. Of course, you can interpret it whatever way you want. And because it's abstract art, the art making process was really fun. I got to explore a lot with water and oil. So let me show you my art making process. Okay, so here we have a closer look up at my artworks, and then we have all my drafts. I have quite a few actually, but I've split them into 4 because for each I explored different things. So let's start with this one first. This one I essentially just explored with watercolors. It's quite simple, to be honest. This was my first ever draft for this artwork, and at that point of time I pretty much had an idea what I wanted to do, but I still wasn't sure how it would turn out. That's why I explored with watercolor. So this is how it looks like. I created these patterns by imprinting cling wrap on top, and how I got it is I essentially first drew out the borders using watercolor, and then I simply just added water, and then after adding water I added paint in some areas, and then I just imprinted it with plastic. So I wanted to add some plastic elements into these drafts because I knew I was talking about pollution in my artworks. And when I think of pollution for the sea, I think of plastic as well as oil. And so because I thought of oil, these two I went to explore with oil. You can see that there's separation between the water and the oil. And then for this one, I explored not with watercolor but with acrylic ink. I went on to use oil on acrylics as well in this one, but this time instead of using cling wrap, I used bubble wrap. So you can see the imprints on it, the bubble wrap imprints, this part. You can see the bubble wrap imprints here. Yeah, so I also did the same for this set, except the one on the left, I didn't add salt to the experimentation. This one I explored with salt because I thought, since I'm covering the topic of the sea, I thought that by adding salt it'll add an extra element, but because the salt absorbed a lot of water, the contrast wasn't great compared to this one. Yeah, this one is nice. Ta-da! Yeah. So that's what I have for my drafts. These 2 paintings were actually my first ever abstract art, and it completely changed how I view and approach art now, I would say, because before that, I always knew in my head what enjoying the process was, but I never truly understood it in my heart. And it was only until I had to do these abstract art that I truly, understood it. I would say the reason why is because the process itself, you can't really have a plan, you gotta explore different elements and how they react together, and then from the results you choose which is your best. The whole process itself is not fixed at all. You really gotta go with the flow, like literally see what happens next. You can still have a plan for abstract art, but I find that, a lot of times when I planned for this, most of the time I didn't follow it because new results came, and then I had to change how I approached it after that. So at first, in the beginning, I didn't like it at all because I'm the kind of person that likes to, finish my artwork and get it done and over with in a week. So it's like, okay, Monday I will paint this, Tuesday, Wednesday I'll paint this, that, and then I'll finish it by Saturday, and then I'll, take a picture of it, and then I'll put it out by next Monday. So I used to be those kind of person when approaching art, very like planned, systematic kind of way. And I think that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. For traditional art, I think that process is totally fine. But for abstract art, you can't do that at all because it's like, how are you gonna plan this? I'm gonna paint this part today. No, you can't plan. Yeah, you just gotta go with the flow. And before that, I hated it, but I realized that it's actually quite fun. You don't know what's gonna happen next, and you're just doing it, and then you only know when to stop when you feel like you need to stop. Abstract art is a lot with the feels. You gotta go with your feel because you don't really know when to stop your drafts, right? Yeah. So that's why I have been doing a lot of abstract art lately, mainly because I love the process and to see how different discoveries happen, and like, oh, I didn't know this, let me do this instead of that. It's all really unknown, but it's still fun. So it actually taught me that, and the process is really something to enjoy, and it's fun. Yeah, so that's my sharing for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time. Bye.